Imagine being hunted through an alien jungle by a predator bred only for war. Every breath you take feels like a countdown to your death. Your skin tears like paper, your bones snap like twigs, and your weapons? They're laughed at, dismissed as primitive toys. And yet, when they thought they had finally broken us, when they believed victory was theirs, they learned a truth about humanity so chilling, it turned their arrogance into terror. This isn't just a survival story. This is a story of revenge. And trust me, the payoff is one you will never forget. If you've ever been underestimated, if someone has ever looked at you and thought they'll never make it, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in, because this may be the most satisfying revenge tale you'll hear all week. The mud sucked at Stetch's claws as he trudged through the undergrowth of planet GWP 1E28. Each step was heavy, deliberate. The vines that brushed against his scales glowed faintly pink and purple, like veins pumping the life of the jungle itself. Behind him followed 3 conscripts, Yichtaran, Sabach, Yichtaran. Their weapons, heavy pulse cannons, hung from their shoulders. Their packs weighed them down, and their silence spoke louder than any words could. They had once been 5. Roll, who had been the weakest link, shot in the leg days ago. The wound had festered, infection rotting flesh faster than their march. And Stetch? He hadn't wasted a moment. No medevac, no retreat. He ordered the mercy kill. His voice had been cold as stone when he gave the command. Put him down. He slows us all. Roll, whose ammo and rations were divided. His weapon destroyed to prevent human capture. His body buried with the simplest of prayers. Stetch didn't look back, because Stetch wasn't here to grieve. He was here to hunt. The jungle above was thick, a roof of alien leaves so blue they turned the daylight into twilight. Strange creatures crooned their mating calls in the distance, but Stetch didn't care for the fauna of GWP 1E28. His prey was something far more dangerous. Humans. The elusive guerrilla fighters who had turned the HFY mining project into a nightmare. This planet was rich in a rare crystal the HFY coveted for weapons. They had called in the Yichtaran warriors, Stetch's people, to wipe out the human pests. 30 Yichtaran hunters had landed 10 sunrises ago. 30. Now, Stetch led only 3. And every night, he whispered the same prayer. Hunter, grant me victory. Let me taste their blood. Humans, he thought, were laughable creatures. Soft flesh, weak bones, dull faces he couldn't tell apart. No claws, no scales, no tails. And yet they had survived. Again and again. They had outlasted every trap, every pursuit, every raid. Stetch clenched his jaw. This wasn't a hunt anymore. This was personal. He was going to kill them, even if it cost him his own life. While Stetch prowled the jungle, far away, another figure wrestled with a different kind of battle. Yurt, SHIZ researcher, sat slumped in a chair inside a small human library. The chair was soft, wooden, alien, yet it fit her body well enough. For hours, she had been drowning in human books. Pages of strange symbols, letters, words that formed sentences, sentences that filled chapters. Fiction, endless fiction, dragons, hobbits, wardrobes, meaningless stories the humans loved to consume. She slammed one book shut, tossing it onto a growing discard pile. This is useless, she muttered, exhaustion dripping from her voice. Her people had been searching for humanity's weakness for 3 long cycles of war. But humanity wasn't breaking. Their fleets kept coming. Their soldiers kept fighting. Their numbers made no sense. Theories swirled among the SHIZ. Cloning facilities, time manipulation, parallel dimensions. But Yurt was tasked with something simpler, scouring human records for answers. She dragged another book from the shelf. The title read, The Cambridge Illustrated History of Medicine. Her eyelids sagged. She told herself, one more book. Just one more. Then I'll rest. She flipped it open. At first, she was relieved. This one had pictures. But then horror. Page after page described human medicine. Wounds stitched shut with thread. Flesh burned closed with fire. Blood stolen from one human, pumped into another. Organs transplanted. Limbs reattached. Bones fused back together. And worst of all, electricity shocking the dead back to life. Yurt's throat tightened. Her hands trembled. No, this can't be real. She wanted to stop, but her eyes kept scanning the pages, as if compelled by some terrible force. Humans didn't create endless new soldiers. They reused the same ones. The same bodies, patched together, repaired, revived. That was the secret. They weren't just stubborn. They were unkillable. Yurt shoved the book away, while rising in her throat. She had uncovered the truth, and she wished she hadn't. Back in the jungle, Stetch caught a new scent. Burnt flesh. The humans' disgusting habit of cooking their food. To him, it was sacrilege, spoiling meat with fire until it blackened. And yet, that stench filled him with exhilaration. It meant they were close. He dropped low, sniffing the ground, tracing faint boot prints. Closer, closer. Voices. Human voices bleeding through the foliage. He raised a claw to halt his squad. His tails flicked. His chest swelled. He sent a final prayer to the great hunter, and then he charged. The jungle exploded around them. Stetch burst into a clearing, pulse cannon blazing. His warriors tore through the brush at his side. And then shock. There weren't 4 humans. There weren't 6. There were dozens. They scattered, shouting. Bullets ripped through the air. A guard screamed as Stetch's claws spilled her entrails. A table flipped as makeshift cover, shielding humans who scrambled for their rifles. Stetch's pulse fire warped the steel, but it held. And then, Yichtaran, his promising young soldier, was hit. Bullets shattered his face. He squealed, collapsing. Sabach tried to retreat, only to be shredded by gunfire. Blood sprayed. The jungle echoed with screams. Stetch grabbed Yichtaran, dragging him back. Fall back. There are too many. They stumbled into the trees, bullets tearing bark around them. And Stetch's rage turned to something he hated more than anything else. Fear. Stetch and Yichtaran ran, hearts pounding. Did you get the coordinates? Stetch snarled. Yes, by the hunter, And then the ground vanished. They fell. A pit. Stetch's world became agony, as sharpened stakes pierced his flesh. His thigh, his belly, his side. Yichtaran didn't even scream. He was skewered through the back, lifeless. Stetch roared, thrashing, slicing the spears with his tails to free himself. Every movement sent fresh waves of pain tearing through him. His green blood soaked the dirt, but his mission wasn't finished. Not yet. He clawed through Yichtaran's pack, pulling out the planetary positioning device. Relief washed over him. It still worked. He keyed in the human camp coordinates, slamming send. A sharp beep. Failed. His blood ran colder than the mud beneath him. The signal couldn't transmit. Too deep. Too far from base. There was only one way. He had to climb. Every pull was torture. His claws dug into dirt. His wounds ripped open again. He prayed. He cursed. He bled. But he climbed, until finally light. The sun warmed his scales. Relief swelled in his chest. He reached out, and a boot slammed down on his hand. The snap of a talon broke his mind from its fragile hope. He looked up, and his heart froze. It was her, the one-eyed human, the one whose arm he had torn off, the one he had left to die in the mud. Her eyes stared down at him. Her other hand rested casually on the gauze-wrapped stump of her missing arm. She was alive. No, it can't be. Stetch screamed. His voice cracked, desperate. I killed you. You bled out. You're supposed to be dead. The human crouched close enough that he could see the scars at her neck, the steel in her gaze. And she smirked. I got better. She stood, pressing her boot harder into his mangled hand. Then she shoved. Stetch tumbled back into the pit, and the sharpened wood found its mark. The mighty hunter's scream died in his throat. The jungle swallowed his blood, and the one-eyed woman walked away. The hunter had become a prey, the predator the victim, and the woman he had dismissed as weak proved the truth Stetch had never understood. Humanity doesn't quit. You can cut us, break us, burn us, even kill us, but we come back, scarred, stitched, stronger. And when we rise again, it's not just to survive. It's to take revenge. That's why the story hits so hard. Because it's not just about war. It's about being underestimated. About being told you're weak, useless, or broken. and proving them wrong in the most satisfying way possible. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell us in the comments. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories of karma, justice, and payback served cold. Until next time, remember, never let anyone count you out.